splinter in your mind. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. Like a splinter in your mind.
Okay guys and girls, not using the HD camera at the moment because the audio on it is pretty cruddy, okay? And also today I've gone and mislaid my wonderful Nike cap which I put on so I don't have to brush my hair and make myself look good prior to going onto the camera. And I haven't had a shave this morning so I look like shit, so just fucking forgive me, okay? Now, let's have a look at this one particular comment which is again, you know why I like doing this. Because I can reflect on my point of view as a result of somebody else showing their point of view, then I can show why there's a justification for my point of view. I know I can be wrong, okay? We all can be wrong. You can be wrong, I can be wrong, they can be wrong, everybody can be wrong. You know, we're all humans, we're all just trying to find out what we think is right, taking into account what we know and what little we know and what we don't know and everything else. So this is just like me, just like saying stuff, and if you agree with it, fine. If you don't, fine. Comment section is there so you can add more comments, and again, if I don't agree with them, then I can discuss my point of view in the form of a video. So you're giving me material, and I'm giving you points of view which helps you to reflect, and maybe, you know, we can all sort of like learn from each other kind of thing, because I think that's the way it works. Now, before I go into this comment, I just want to point out that I learned a lot about in what ways I could possibly be wrong with the way in which I was looking at this particular subject through looking at the points of view of people who have a different point of view to myself. And that was actually quite a useful learning experience, because then I could see in what ways I might have been wrong with my thinking. Alright, I mean, there was one time when I tried to set up a whole channel which was dedicated to proving conclusively that the paranormal was real, okay? I failed to do that because there isn't enough of an argument for me to say that, so that's why I focus on the idea of there are strange experiences to be had. Now, this one particular comment says, it's interesting stuff, okay? It says, honest question to you. What if you are messing with something that you are not in control of? If the entities that you are summoning are manipulating you in such subtle manners to do their bidding that you are not even able to recognize the change that happens within you. I'm asking you to consider this. I'm not Christian, but I would suggest you stop once in a while to think about it, because I think you are a genuine and honest man, but you could be doing something harmful to yourself. Okay, well, obviously very good of you to be concerned about me, and I think that that's a very positive, positive thing, positive attitude and all the rest of that, but this is based upon the presupposition that I might be messing with something I'm not in control of, and that this is a presupposition that these things which I'm not in control of have certain abilities, alright, certain key properties which are, defined by whatever it is they are, okay, as if it was a hard and fast, solid fact that these things that you can call entities, spirits, demons, angels, archangels, Quillipoth, ghosts, whatever, actually have the capacity and the power to manipulate me. This remains an unknown, actually. Okay, it's not a question of like this is known. Alright, there are demons, yes. Oh yes, they will manipulate you, they will control you, yes. Plenty of people out there in the world who say that. Alright. But none of the things which all these people who say, oh yes, this is real, or this does happen, or this does, yeah. I've experimented and I have found that they are talking out of their backsides. And people who talk out of their backsides quite so much really, don't understand what they're talking about and are a waste of space, time and energy. So I can't really go with that point of view. I'll carry on with this video shortly. I've got a call coming in. Speak to you in a sec. Okay, basically as I was saying there, I was alluding to the fact I wasn't really alluding, I was telling you straight out that when we don't know something, we don't know something. I mean, for me to go with this kind of like paranoid interpretation of what if these things have this particular power or function or whatever, you might as well say, well, what if these things have another power or another function or whatever? Okay, I mean, one interpretation of what spirits or demons or angels or energies or whatever it is that we can't objectively prove one point of view is just as valid as another point of view, or just as invalid or unvalid, basically, because essentially all we're doing is we're saying, what if this? Okay, I mean, what if this camera that I'm talking to now isn't actually a camera? What if it's a banana and I'm just hallucinating the fact it's a camera? What if? Okay, would I really be better off eating this thing which I think is a camera right now? Would I? You just think about it. This comment is saying, what if these spirits do this? Therefore, why don't you think about that? Yeah. Well, what if this is not a camera? What if this is a banana? Maybe I should be thinking about that too. And eating the camera. Seriously, you don't want to see that close inside my mouth, honestly. I promise you that. You don't want to see that close inside my mouth, right? Not even a dentist wants to look inside there, good God. Okay. Right, but the fact of the matter is, that comment is interesting, it's compassionate, but it's not in-depth or totally appropriate. Alright? Because it's also an implication there that there is an almost manipulation of my behavior and my thinking and my attitudes based upon a presupposition of what if. Okay, now when I've been doing all of my weird stuff, I've been trying to find stuff out, and I've been trying to explore quite scientifically with the search for the strange experiences that I've had. But it is just a question for the strange experiences, because the experiences can happen, and I can objectively say that based upon my personal experiences. I can't prove it objectively, no. There has been one or two times when I've done stuff and other people have felt stuff happening, and there's been shared dreams and all that kind of weird stuff, because these things do happen, and it's not just due to chance, because it's just so extraordinary when it does happen. So the experiences, they happen, that much we can say. But what if this, what if that, what if the other? Fuck off. You just fuck off with that shit, The more you carry on saying what if, the more you're creating paranoia. You're creating unpleasant emotions for people to just latch onto. And within occultism, there's this presupposition that what these people, or all occultists are doing is a science, when in fact it isn't really, because to the most part people are applying religious thinking, religious thinking to a complex subject which can't be put down to a black and white. There aren't that many black and whites in this world. Okay? In the world of people and personalities and lifestyle and spirituality and values, there's always too many questions on that side of things. So when it comes to something like quite so metaphysical and woolly, as the existence of spirits, okay, it's actually retarding thinking to say, well, what if it's like this? Why don't you stop iffing about, okay, and get on with living? I heard some very wise man say that a long time ago. Okay, stop iffing about and get on with life. Or why don't you just stop iffing about and get on with exploring and experimenting and seeing what you can do and trying to have fun with it, because that is slightly more important than cowering in the corner of the room, okay, as if your what-ifs were somehow real, or had suddenly become real because you had said them, or because somebody else had said them to you. No. What if there's a demon, karmic, angelic thing from another dimension that wants to steal my soul because I farted on a Tuesday afternoon when I should have been not farting on a Tuesday afternoon, and it was the waxing gibbous moon, and that makes it more powerful, and oh dear, I'm going to die. I mean, fuck off. That's medievalist thinking. If you want to go back to medieval thinking, fine, but do me a favor. Shut your mouth and step away from the keyboard.
Like a splinter in your mind. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. Like a splinter in